Sort of our live stream, My Journey to the Trinity. My name is Hussein. Happy to be with you. Happy you could be with me. Hope you're having a good day. And we're just going to do a little live stream today about a very important topic in Islam. The topic is about urine. It says, um, the topic is really very significant in the Quran, in the Hadith, excuse me. It's repeated over and over and over again, and there's actually quite a bit to learn about Islam. There's a lot you can learn about Muhammad and about Islam when you read his hadiths about urine. It shows you many different aspects of, hello, Jess Janice, God bless you. Shows you a bunch of different aspects of the kind of control Muhammad had over the people, and the fact that he was teaching them everything about urine. There's so many different aspects of urine. There's naturalistic, there's scientific, there's medical, there's theological. There's so many different topics related to urine. And so I just thought, you know what? The time has come to bring these together and just talk about them. Just because, they really do teach you quite a bit about Muhammad. I think more than anything, it teaches you about Muhammad. These are all hadiths and from different hadiths, and just I think when you listen to it, you're just going to say, "I learned something about Muhammad through this hadith," and so just to see the kind of person he was. So let's go ahead and look at number one here. It's Sahih al-Bukhari. So this is a Sahih hadith. It says the prayer of a person who does hadath, that means they fart, passes urine, stool, or wind, is not accepted till he performs ablution. Person from Hadramut asked Abu Hurairah, what is hadath? Abu Hurairah replied, hadath means the passing of wind. So if you do any of these things, your prayers are not accepted. لا تقبل صلاة من أحدث حتى يتوضأ. قال الرجل من حضرموت ما الحدث يا أبا هريرة؟ قال فصل أو طرات. Fuss, those are the very common words in Arabic for fart. Fuss, or dirat. Dirat. Dirat is the more scientific. Dirat is the more scientific way of saying fart. So dirat. So dirat or fuss. Fuss. Those are the two ways to say it. So okay. So there. Let's look at another one here. A Bedouin urinated in the mosque, and the people ran to beat him. Muhammad said, do not interrupt his urination till he let him finish. Then Muhammad asked for a tumbler of water and poured the water over the place of the urine. This is such a weird story here. It's like Muhammad was such a stickler for different things, like if you wore silk, if you wore the wrong color shoes, if you use your left hand to hold your private part when you're urinating, if you, all these crazy things. And yet somebody urinating in the mosque. Somebody urinating in the mosque. Muhammad, first of all, said, let him continue. And then he brought water and just poured the water on top of it. And first of all, isn't the mosque a place of holy place of prayer? Isn't it the place where you come to pray to Allah? And a guy walks in, pulls out his member, and starts urinating right there in the mosque. People start wanting to beat him because they said, no, this is Allah's house. How dare you come in here and urinate on the floor? But Muhammad says, no, let him finish. He said, let him finish. Do not interrupt his urination, i.e., let him finish. Let me see how it says it in Arabic. Anas, لا تزرموه ثم دعا بدل من ماء فصب عليه. Okay. بال في المسجد فقاموا إليه فقال لا تزرموه. Now I want to find out what that word. That's a kind of a strange word there. تزرموه. Okay. I've never heard that word before, so I'm just kind of curious exactly how they would translate that. Tazramuhu. Oh, English from Arabic? Tazramuhu. Okay. Now you see, they don't have it, so it's a very, I'm not sure. But essentially, the guy's peeing on the carpet in the mosque, and Muhammad and the people, just think about it. What would you think if someone walks into church and just, whips it out and start urinating in the church? I mean, people are going to get up and they're going to like, dude, what's wrong with you? And that's what everybody did. It says, let me read it again. The Bedouin urinated in the mosque. The people ran to beat him. Muhammad said, do not interrupt his urination. Do not interrupt his urination. Then the Prophet asked for a tumbler of water and poured water over the place of urine. Do we have any Muslims who would like to come up and help us? We have any Muslims who would like to come up and help us understand what exactly is going on here? I mean, there must be some sublime wisdom in this. There must be some wisdom here. So if there's a Muslim here who would like to come up and help us understand what does this mean? Why did Muhammad defend someone urinating in the mosque in front of everybody? Help me. Ilhatni. Dude, that is one crazy story. And I don't know what it means. I don't know why he defended the guy. If we have any Muslims who'd like to come up and help us, please do. There's the link. A boy was brought to Muhammad to do tahniq for him, but the boy urinated on him, whereupon Muhammad had water poured on the place of urine. This is this is repeated so many times, is that he was carrying a little boy and the boy urinated on him, and he just, the parents were terrified. It's like, oh my goodness, how can you urinate on the Prophet? But Muhammad was like, oh, it's okay. Let him urinate on me. Help me, somebody. If anyone has any insight into this, says, do not harm him. Then he called for, oh, the Arabic is a bit different. Do not, oh, Andrew Martin, do you speak Arabic? I didn't know. I mean, that's very good. Because I don't know the word. The word tazramuhu. Tazra. Oh, tazramuhu. Okay, la tazrmuhu. Tuzrmuhu. I'm not sure exactly. I don't know that word. I've never heard it before. So, but thank you. Wow. Great insight. Don't hurt him. It was okay with Muhammad that the guy urinate inside the mosque. All the stuff Muhammad was like so adamant about. And yet something like this was okay. How could something like this be okay? There's got to be something going on here. There's got to be something going on here. And this is very weird. Oh, you use Google Translate? Oh, really? Okay, because when I tried using Google Translate, it didn't translate it. So, I mean, it didn't translate that word. Okay. All right, let's see. My father said, narrated by Hamza bin Abdullah, my father said during the lifetime of Muhammad, the dogs used to urinate and pass through the mosques, come and go. Nevertheless, they never used to sprinkle water on it, the urine of the dog. What the heck? This Bedouin guy comes in and urinates in the mosque, and Muhammad defends him. Dogs come in and urinate in the mosque, and Muhammad lets them, and they don't even put water on it. Dude, the little boy urinates on Muhammad, and he just sprinkles water on it. You guys, help me. I need help. I need help to understand. uh, you know what? I'm actually, I don't know if Grok is working with me anymore. Okay, let me see if I can. It seems like Mohammed was very favorable to urine. When a man urinated in the mosque, he defended the guy. When dogs urinated in the mosques, they didn't even put water on it. When a kid urinated on Muhammad, he said, let him. What is the situation? Let's see if I get an answer. Oh, that's absolutely wrong. Can you please read it? These incidents come from authentic hadiths, Sahih Bukhari and Muslim, and they reflect Muhammad's emphasis on mercy, disease, education, and practicality over harshness, especially with ignorant or vulnerable people. They don't indicate a special favor for urine itself, which is considered impure nejas in Islamic law. But rather is considered impure, but rather how to handle human error. How about dog error? Okay. Ignorance or minor impurities without causing greater harm. Here's the context for each. Yo, boy, yeah, it's going to give us a big lesson on urination here. Okay. Yeah, boy, yeah. All right. So you guys, I got 20 of these. We've only read 3 so far. 22 of these. Actually, I've only read 3, and I'm already like, dude, I'm at a loss. This is unbelievable stuff. Okay. Okay. We need to read this one again. During the lifetime of Muhammad, the dogs used to urinate and pass through the mosques. Not just one mosque, you guys. Mosques. Nevertheless, they never used to sprinkle water on the urine of the dog. Now, Muhammad hated dogs. He killed dogs. But it was okay for dogs to urinate in the mosque. This is Sahih al-Bukhari, you guys. Dude, just think about that. Is that weird? Am I weird for thinking this is weird? Is this normal behavior? Is this normal behavior? Dogs and it's just like, dude, it's like Muhammad hated dogs. He was a total cat person. He hated dogs, commanded that dogs be killed. He said dogs were Satan. And yet, when they urinated in the mosques, not in one mosque, it says mosques, he was okay with it. What the heck is going on here? Very, very strange. I mean, I've seen these before, but when you put them all together, it's just like, oh my goodness, there's something going on here. There's something happening here that is a bit strange. Okay, number 5. Abu Musa al-Ash'ari used to lay great stress on the question of urination. And he used to say, if anyone from Beni Israel happened to soil his clothes with urine, he used to cut that portion away. Hearing that, Hudayfa and Abu Wa'il said to Abu Wa'il, I wish Abu Musa didn't lay such great stress on that matter. Hudayfa said, Muhammad went to the dumps of some people and urinated while standing. This is Sahih Hadith, you guys. Abu Musa al-Ash'ari used to lay great stress on the question of urination. This was a very, very important issue for him. And yeah, okay. I think we're going to see this one again. Muhammad took a child in his lap again for tahniq. He chewed a date in his mouth and put its juice in the mouth of the child. It's like we don't even need to get to the urine part. So what he would do is he'd hold the kid, he'd eat a date, and then he would somehow put the juice of the date in the baby's mouth. How did he do that? How did he put the juice of the date in the mouth of the kid? And put its juice in the mouth of the child. He chewed the date in his mouth and put its juice in the mouth of the child. The child urinated on him, so he asked for water and poured it over the place of the urine. So if somebody urinates on it, just pour water on it. Okay. Abu Musa inflicted great rigor on himself with the matter of urination and urinated in a bottle and said, when the skin of anyone among the people of Israel was besmeared with urine, he cut that portion off with a cutter. Hudayfa said, I wish that your friend should not inflict such an extreme rigor. I and Muhammad were going together till we reached a dumping ground of filth behind an enclosure. Please hear this, you guys. He stood up as one among you would stand up. and he urinated. I tried to turn away from him, but he beckoned to me. So I went to him, and I stood behind him till he had relieved himself. You guys, what's going on here? Does anyone have any idea what's going on here? This guy, Muhammad, goes with this guy to the dump. And then Muhammad stands up, as anybody would, and started peeing. The guy who's with him turns away. He's embarrassed. He doesn't want to look while he's peeing. But Muhammad beckoned to him. So the guy went to Muhammad and stood behind him till he had relieved himself. What's going on with this, you guys? What's going on with this, you guys? Why did Muhammad want the guy to stand there and watch him pee? Why did Muhammad want this guy to stand there and watch him pee? This is Sahih. This is Sahih, you guys. This is a hadith that just like, what's going on here? Muhammad standing, peeing. The guy's embarrassed, so he turns away. He doesn't want to look at him when he's peeing. But he tells the guy, no, come watch. What is going on? Something's going on. Something weird. There's something weird, you guys. Bedouin guy's peeing, and he defends him, says, don't hurt him, let him pee. Dogs are peeing in the mosques, not just one mosque. Muhammad's okay with it. Kids are peeing on him, and he's okay with that. And then he's out with this guy at the dump, and the guy, and as he starts peeing, and then the guy turns away because he's embarrassed, doesn't want to look at, and Muhammad tells him, no, come watch. Oh boy, yeah. Let's see how it says it in Arabic. فأتى صباة خلف حائط فقام كما يقوم أحدكم فبال فإن تبدت منه فأشار إلي فجئت فقمت عند عقبه حتى فر. Yep, that's what it says. Okay, number 8. The messenger said, forbade to urinate in stagnant water. Okay, this is Sahih Muslim, saying you're not supposed to urinate in stagnant water. I think, yes, it's demonic perversion. I think it is. Prophet also forbade urinating at the place where one takes a bath. So it's he forbade. Let me see. I wonder the word. في البول في المغتسل. Okay. So you're not supposed to urinate where you take a bath, and or in stagnant water. Climate. Okay, now this is a very well-known. We talked about this last week. The climate of Medina did not suit some people, so Muhammad ordered them to follow his shepherd, i.e., the camels, and drink their milk and urine as a medicine. So they followed the shepherd, that is, the camels, and drank their milk and urine until their bodies became healthy. So again, this is a story that we've talked about many times, and it's so drinking urine, camel urine, as a medicine, and so urine has a very important place with Muhammad. Okay, it is narrated by Aisha. This is very important, people. Please, please listen. This is very, very important here. Hello, Emmanuel. God bless you, my brother. Sorry, we don't have a very nice topic tonight. Aisha said, whoever tells you that the messenger of Allah urinated standing up, do not believe him, for he would not urinate except while squatting. يا طيب. عائشة قالت من حدثكم إن رسول الله بال قائما فلا تصدقوه ما كان يبول إلى جالسا. يا باي. This is so important, you guys. People were lying about Muhammad. People were lying about him, saying that he peed standing up. And I read you the hadiths, and they were sahih hadiths, saying he was standing up when he was peeing. But Aisha said, disbelieve them. They're all liars. He would only pee when he was squatting. This is so important. This is so important. So, al-Mu'mineen, the mother of the believers. She wants to keep the story straight, man. People are lying, saying he was standing up when peeing. Okay. It was mentioned before the Prophet that there was a man who slept the night till morning after sunrise. Muhammad said, he is a man in whose ears or ear Satan had urinated. ذاك الرجل بال الشيطان في أذنيه أو قال في أذنه. So it does say, you see, now this does clarify. It clarifies things a little bit, okay? Because I had a question, and I've asked many people about this. Is Satan actually urinating? How can Satan, is it literal urine? Is Satan, what is Satan drinking to where he can urinate in all these ears? There's what, 2 billion Muslims almost? How can he urinate and say half of them sleep in? That's 1 billion people. That's 2 billion ears. But this clarifies that it's only in one ear. He's only urinating in one ear. Possibly. It may be 2, maybe 1. I don't know how that's possible, but apparently. Is it real urine? Is he drinking something? What is he drinking to be able to urinate in that many ears? Everybody who sleeps in, Satan urinates in their ears. This is Muhammad, you guys. This is what Muhammad said. Satan, he is a man in whose ears Satan had urinated. This is Sahih al-Bukhari. This is Sahih Hadith. So Muslim would come up and help us. I'd really, because this is very difficult to understand. And well, okay. It's there, you guys. Don't know what you want to do with it. Satan urinates too. He urinates in people's ears. Okay, let's look at this number 13. None of you should urinate in a burrow in the ground. They said to Qatada, why is it disliked to urinate into a burrow in the ground? He said, it is said these are the dwelling places of the jinn. Okay, now this is a da'if hadith, okay, so, but apparently Muhammad wanted to protect the jinn, because they live inside these holes in the ground. And so he's saying, don't urinate there because devils are living there. And it's not polite to urinate on top of people, on top of demons. So, because the jinn are living in these holes in the ground. And so if you urinate on it, they're going to get wet. And so he's saying, don't urinate in the holes in the ground because that's where the jinn. Muhammad was very concerned about the jinn, you guys. He was very concerned about the jinn. He used to pray for the jinn. Muhammad used to pray to Allah for the jinn, for the demons. He used to pray for them. It says that he prayed to Allah that Allah would feed them. The jinn, they eat bones and excrement. And so Muhammad said, hey, he prayed to Allah so Allah would feed them. And he called the jinn, the demons, the brother of the Muslims. He says that he said to the Muslims, your brethren among the jinn. So these demons, Muhammad said, are brothers of the Muslims. So he was very concerned about them. And he was concerned that people not pee on them. Okay, it's very important, you guys. Look at this. Okay. None should urinate in a burrow in the ground. Why is it disliked to urinate into a burrow in the ground? He said, it is said, these are the dwelling places of the jinn. So Muhammad doesn't want you to pee on the heads of the demons. And so he says, don't pee in the holes because the demons are living there. So, like I told you, when I looked at these all together, man, it was just like I was thinking, you know what? You learn a lot about Muhammad when you read these. You learn a lot about Islam when you read these. A lot of them are Sahih hadiths. These are Sahih hadiths. And this is what it says. And Janice, he says, I wonder where my hearing is going. Okay, let's look at number 14. Okay, some of these will be repeating a little bit, but it says the messenger of Allah came out to us with a small leather shield in his hand. He put it down. Then he sat behind it and urinated towards it. Some of the people said, look, he's urinating like a woman. Now, you guys, I have a question. If anyone can help me, if anyone understands, please help me. Did he go put this little yellow leather shield outside in the street? Because there's people watching him. Some of the people said, look, is he doing this outside in front of all the people? Came out to us with a small leather shield in his hand. He put it down. Then he sat behind it and urinated towards it. Some of the people said, look, he is urinating like a woman. He heard it. Muhammad heard it. He heard it, meaning he was right there. People were passing by or people were standing there watching him urinate, and he heard them talking about him. He knew they were watching him. Isn't that a little weird? Isn't this a little weird? If you read the story about Sauda, Sauda, Muhammad's old fat wife, and she one night went out to go to the bathroom, and Umar bin Khattab was spying on her. And he says, I see you, look at you, while she's going to the bathroom. Just an excellent man, just a wonderful man he was. And But it shows you that they go to special places to at night at a particular time to go to the bathroom. It wasn't like they were just going to the bathroom all over the place. Okay. But Muhammad was. He'd go to the dump, be urinating, and he would tell a man, okay, this man is embarrassed and he wants to turn away from Muhammad. And Muhammad says, no, get back here and watch. He wanted people to watch him urinate. He wanted this guy to watch him urinate. And now he's doing it in front of a bunch of people. He's got this leather thing. He brings it out. He comes out of the house carrying this leather thing. He puts it down and then he urinates in its direction towards it. And then what? And there's a bunch of people standing there. And you say, how do you know there's a bunch of people? Because it says so. Some of the people, not all of them. That means there were more. There's some of these people, maybe there's three. When you say some, you're talking 3 or 4 at least, said this. But there were more than 3 or 4 there because not everybody said this. Some of them said, look. It was like a show. They were all standing there watching him urinate and said, look, he is urinating like a woman. Muhammad heard it. And he says, do you not know what happened to the companions of the children of Israel? So he's going to make a theological lesson about this. See, this is the theological aspect. Okay. The companion of Israel. He says, didn't you know what happened to the companion of the children of Israel? If they got any urine on themselves, they would clip that part of their garments off. The companion told them not to do that, and he was punished in his grave. So, you know what the Jews used to do? What the heck does this have to do with Muhammad peeing on it in front of everybody? What the heck? And squatting. Because they all said he's squatting and urinating. It wasn't like he was just standing there urinating, like you might see someone urinating against a wall or something like that. No, he was squatting because everybody said he's urinating like a woman. Yo, boy, yeah. He wanted to teach them about through this. He wanted to use this to teach them. It was a teachable moment. Okay. It was a teachable moment. He was part cat, exhibitionist. He had a fetish. You know what, Truth Defender? I'm serious. There's something weird going on here. What the heck did they have these? Why do they have these hadiths? Why did they keep them? Why keep these hadiths? But they did. And there's several of them that Muhammad is urinating and wanting people to see him urinate. Here's this one. He comes out of his house with this leather thing. He puts it down and then he squats and starts urinating in front of everybody. And how do we know it's in front of him? Because some of those people said, look, he urinates like a woman. He squats and urinates like a woman. And Muhammad, of course, this was a teachable moment. He wanted to teach them. So what does he want to teach them? This is very important. Okay, what is it? He says the children of Israel. So you got to blame the Jews. If you're in a situation like this, the easiest solution is blame the Jews. The Jews are to blame for this. Absolutely. You got a situation like this, blame the Jews. It says he heard that. So he heard the people saying, look, he pees like a woman. He's doing it in front of them. He's squatting in front of them and behind his leather thing, but he's peeing towards the leather thing, this leather shield. And then everybody comes around, is watching him pee. And then some, not all, some, which when it says some, it's not one person. It's not just two. You're talking at least three people when you say some. So there's at least three people watching him pee, who among the people who are watching him pee, who say, "Look, he pees like a woman." Why would you want to keep a hadith like this? Is this a heroic thing? Um, it says, but Muhammad heard it, and like I said, this is an opportunity to teach about the theology. This was a theological moment, a teachable moment. And he said, "Do you know what happened to the children of Israel? When you're in a situation like this, blame the Jews, you guys. Get people's eyes off your squatting and get their eyes on the Jews." Okay. If they got any urine on themselves, they would clip that part of their garments off. This is in there 10 million times. This really made an impression on Muhammad. Their companion told them not to do that, and he was punished in the grave. He went to hell for telling people not to cut their clothes off because of the urine. So he went to hell for that. He was punished in the grave. That's the precursor to going to hell, is the punishment in the grave. So there's a lot going on there. Yeah, well, yeah, I'll see. Okay, number 15. It was narrated from Abdullah bin Mughaffal that Muhammad said, "None of you should urinate in the place where he bathes." But there, you guys, this isn't just because, he's concerned about maybe taking a bath in water that has your pee in it. No, there's a much deeper reason. He says, for most waswas, devilish whispers, comes from that, with regard to whether the urine has soiled his body or not. This word waswas, it's actually in the Quran. It talks, and this used to happen to Muhammad. Waswas is like whispering, and it's always about the devil whispering. And in the Quran, there's a verse, there's this word waswas is used talking about how devils whisper in people's chests. It's because the devil was whispering to him in his chest. And so he knew about this. But anyway, if you urinate, okay, where you bathe, then the devil will whisper to you. So don't be urinating where you're going to bathe. Don't pee in your bathwater. All right. Muhammad said, if someone keeps a horse in Allah's cause, motivated by his faith in Allah and his belief in his promise, he will be rewarded on the day of resurrection for what the horse has eaten or drunk, for its dung and urine. Now, this is a Sahih Hadith here. You're going to be rewarded for the horse's urine. You're going to be rewarded for the horse's urine. Another exhibition is Sahih Muslim 2401. Okay. You know what? I really don't understand. I don't understand some of this. It's like, a Bedouin came in and peed in the mosque, and Muhammad said, let him finish. Everybody was telling him, hey, you're not supposed to pee in the house of Allah. Muhammad said, no, let him finish. Let him pee. And then there was a situation where dogs were peeing in the mosques, not in one mosque, in mosques all over. The dogs used to go pee in the mosque. You remember the ones that survived Muhammad's dog slaughter, and they let him. They didn't even put water on it. This is something very strange, very weird. Okay. Favorite Bible verses. Okay. All right. 2401. Let me see. This is from Truth Defender, you guys. 2401. Oh, is this the one at the door? 24, 2404. Okay, 2401. Let's read it together. This is from our brother Truth Defender. Okay, 16. The merits of the companions. Muhammad was lying in the bed in my apartment. This is Aisha. Aisha, man. She's like a kid. She's probably 11 years old here. So she just says everything. You know, kids say the darndest things. She just she has no, what's the word? She has no restriction on what she says. She just says whatever, she sees. She says Muhammad was lying in the bed of my apartment with his thigh uncovered. And Abu Bakr sought permission to enter. It was given. And he conversed in the same state. Muhammad's thigh or shank uncovered. Oh boy, yeah. It's like, what do they call it? TMI, too much information. It's like, we don't want to know this, but Aisha wants us to know it. Then Omar sought permission for entering, and it was given to him. And he conversed in that very state. So he was still with his thigh uncovered with the first two caliphs, Abu Bakr and Omar, both his father-in-laws, by the way. Then Uthman sought permission to enter. Allah's messenger sat down and he set right his clothes. Muhammad, one of the narrators, said, I do not say that it happened on the same day. He, Uthman, then entered and conversed as he went out. Aisha couldn't figure this out. She said, there's something weird going on here. Aisha said, Abu Bakr entered. You did not stir and did not observe with much care in arranging your clothes. Then Omar entered, and you did not stir and did not arrange your clothes. Then Uthman entered, and you got up, set your clothes right. So he, Muhammad, said, should I not show modesty to one whom even the angels show modesty? Yay. In other words, with Abu Bakr and with Omar, he was being immodest. He knew he was being immodest. Because he says when Uthman was there, he was modest. But with the others, he was immodest. He was just like showing off his thighs. Very, very strange, man. It's like you read some of the stuff, you go, dang, seems like something's going on here. Something very strange is going on here. So let's get back to You're in Trouble. Did you guys get that? You're in trouble. You're in trouble. Okay. 16. Let's look at 17. The messenger of Allah saw me urinating. Yay! Not only did he like people to come watch him, he liked to watch people. You guys, why do they keep these in the hadiths? Why do they keep these hadiths? Why do they keep these hadiths? I mean, this is Muhammad. Sunan ibn Majah. The messenger saw me urinating. Omar said, this is Omar said this. While standing. The messenger saw me urinating while standing. He said, "O Omar, do not urinate standing up." So I never urinated while standing up after that. Yeah, oh, yeah. Is there anybody who wants to come up and help us understand what's going on here? This is a very strange situation, and we need insight. So, YouTube rejected your comment. This is fairly common. They keep rejecting my comments. YouTube keeps rejecting my comments. What the heck, man? All right, let's go on. Almost done. Your Salman reported that it was said to him, "Your apostle, Muhammad, teaches you about everything, even about excrement." He replied, "Yes. He has forbidden us to face the Qibla at the time of excretion or urination, or cleansing with right hand, or with less than 3 pebbles, or with dung or bone." Yo boy, yay, TMI, too much information. 3 pebbles. That means you use 3 rocks, you guys, to wipe with. Okay, you use 3 rocks to wipe with. And these are scented rocks. You know, they're not just regular rocks. So, okay. 18. Teaches you everything, even about, okay, and about not urinating in the direction of the Qibla or defecating in that direction. But there was a time where Muhammad did do that. Okay. 19. Muhammad passed by 2 graves. Both the dead are being punished, but they are not being punished for a major sin. One did not safeguard himself from urine. The other carried tails. He called for a fresh twig and split it in 2 parts, and planted one on each grave, and said, "Perhaps their punishment will be mitigated as long as the twigs remain fresh." Another version says, Hanad has, "One of them did not cover himself while urinating." This version does not have the words, "He did not safeguard himself from urine." Hey guys, this is a Sahih Hadith. Okay. بعذاب في القبر. أما هذا فكان لا يستنزى إنهم يعذبون ما يعذبان في القبر. فكان لا يستنزى من البول. So this urine is a very serious situation. You can go to hell for it. You can go to hell for having urine on you. So if you got urine on you, you can go to hell for it. This guy's going to hell because of urine, according to this. You guys, I told you, this topic, you're going to learn about Muhammad. You're going to learn about Islam because with this urine topic. It touches so many dimensions. It's unbelievable, man. Okay. So anyway, this guy's going to hell because of urine. So it's a very serious situation. It's no laughing matter. It's no joke matter. Okay. Al-Bara reported Muhammad as saying, "There is no harm in urine of an animal whose flesh may be eaten." In a version of Jabez, he said, "If any animal's flesh may be eaten, there is no harm in its urine." Again, Muhammad was a Megomath. Well, the kind of person, polymath. It's called a polymath, which means he just was an expert in so many different areas. He was obviously an astronomer, obviously a biologist, obviously an embryologist, obviously a poet, obviously a historian, obviously a theologian. He was so many, he's everything. He was amazing marriage counselor. And so he was an expert in a lot of things. And so, he's in medical science, he was an expert. And he said that if you can eat the animal, you can drink its pee. And there's no harm in the pee if you can eat the animal. Okay. Now, don't go be drinking the pee of a pig, because pig pee is not safe because you can't eat the animal. But if you can't eat the animal, you can drink its pee. This is kind of a permission from Muhammad, okay, to drink all kinds of urine. Why you would want to is another topic. But Muhammad was concerned about this. Okay, and this is Mishkat al-Masabih. Okay, if any animal's flesh may be eaten, there's no harm in its urine. Okay, see, you learned something tonight. See, okay. See, enters the privy. He should. Oh, yay! Thank you, Truth Defender. Since I'm a little bit embarrassed to say it, here, Truth Defender sent us. Yeah, but yeah, if you're a Muslim and you're thinking Steve is a jerk for doing this, you know what? I would understand, except I want you to see this is Muhammad doing these things. This is Muhammad saying these things. And you need to see who he is so you will not follow him anymore. And got 2 more to go, guys. A man passed by Muhammad when he was urinating and greeted him. Muhammad was urinating publicly, you guys. There was a guy, he went up to the dump with this guy, and he whips it out and starts urinating. And then standing, don't listen to Aisha. Aisha said he always squatted, okay? She said it's a lie that he stood. He only squatted. She wasn't there when this happened. This was at the dump, some dump, and he was urinating right there. And the guy was with him, and the guy was embarrassed, so he turned away. He didn't want to look at his prophet urinating. And Muhammad told him, no. And then he brings out his little leather shield in front of a group of people, plunks it down, and then squats and pees. And everybody's watching and says, oh, look, they're talking to each other about him. Look, he pees like a woman. And then Muhammad uses, of course, that teachable moment to teach them about the Jews. You should always blame the Jews when you're caught in a situation like this. So he starts teaching them about the Jews. And okay, so this guy passes by, and Muhammad was urinating, and he greeted him with salam. Salam means peace, you guys. So he sees Muhammad peeing, and he says, salam, peace. And but he did not return the greeting. This is sahih, you guys. This is sahih. مر الرجل على النبي okay, وهو يبول. He passed by Muhammad when he's peeing. فسلم عليه فلم يرد عليه السلام. And so he said salam, but Muhammad did not return the greeting. He was peeing, and so He was busy. He was distracted. Just blamed the Jews. Somehow blamed the Jews for this. But you know what this shows you is he was peeing in public places where people could see him. See, I told you you're going to learn a lot about Muhammad through this topic. I know it's like, dude, what a crazy topic. It is crazy. But man, how much did you learn about Muhammad today? You learn a lot about him through this. Okay. The prophet made a vessel from date tree in which he would urinate and place it under the bed. So you see, they're getting a little bit. He made it. First of all, the prophet had a vessel. Okay, he didn't make it. He had it made. Okay, let me just read it in Arabic, see how it says it. Okay, قال ابن جريج أخبرتني حكيمة بنت أمينة عن أمها أميمة بنت الرقيقة. You gotta go through all this trouble to tell us this story. قالت كان للنبي قدح من عيدان يبول فيه ويضع تحت السرير. So Muhammad had this thing made, and it's a little bowl, and he would pee in it at night, and he put it under his bed. And then you guys remember when he died? When he died, the last thing that happened when he died is that he peed. That was the last thing that happened when he died. He peed. And then he died. And so his head was on Aisha's lap. So, but he had this little pee vessel. It's kind of like a pee, what do they call them? You know, like old people have them. A pee thing, tray or whatever old people have under the beds. Muhammad had one made from a date tree. Yeah, but yay! And there's stories about it too. There's stories about this. You know, this is a very deep topic. You know, I know you guys, some of you are like, wait a minute, I know a little bit more about this. There's this hadith, you guys, and like I told you, this is a multifaceted, multidimensional topic. It says the authenticity of the hadith stating that people drank the urine and blood of the prophet. Is there a hadith stating that there was a companion who drank the urine or blood of the prophet? First of all perfect praise to Allah, the Lord of the worlds. On the authority of Abdullah bin Zubair said that he came to the prophet while hajama was cupping was being done to him. Hijama. When the prophet was finished, he asked him to throw the blood away where no one could see it. Abdullah took the blood and drank it. Hey, gross. Okay. Another narration, Muhammad supplicated Allah for him not to be touched by hellfire and wiped his head. Okay. Consider the chain. Okay. On the authority of Umayma bint Ruqayqa, she said that the prophet used to urinate in a container and put under his bed. Once he urinated and put it under his bed, and when he came back, he found the container empty. When he asked an Abyssinian woman called Baraka, who used to serve him, about the urine which was in the container, she told him that she had drunk it. Yeah, yeah. In another narration, Muhammad supplicated Allah to grant her health Consequently, she did not suffer from any illness except the one that preceded her death. Okay, so we have probed the depths. There's a guy that drank his pee too. Oh, Bukhari, was it? Sahih Bukhari 302. Let me look. You know, this topic is one that really is so full and so teaches so much. Menstrual periods, 302. Oh boy, yeah. I hope I don't have nightmares from this. Okay, let's read it together. This is another Truth Defender. Let's see what it says. On the authority of his father, Aisha said, whenever Allah's messenger wanted to fondle any one of us during her menses, during her menstruation, he used to order her to put on izar and start fondling her. Aisha asked, none of you could control his sexual desires as Muhammad. You know what, you guys? I just want to tell you that the Arabic doesn't say control of sexual desires. I just want to tell you that's not what it says in the Arabic. In Arabic, it says, قالت وإياكم يملك أربه كما كان النبي. Yamluk Arbo means none of you knows how to hold or possess his private part. Arbo means his private part. And so this is what Aisha is telling men, you guys, over desires as Muhammad. Okay. Right. Trying to see. Yes. Well, I know what it says. It doesn't say sexual desire. It says none of you knows how to possess his pee like Muhammad did. So beautiful. So there you go, you guys. These are very deep. Allah forbids fondling them during their periods. Thank you, Samuel Paul. Muhammad had permission that other people didn't have. Okay, but thank you for pointing that out. I appreciate that. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and show that verse. Muhammad had special privileges. There's like 16 privileges that he had that no other Muslim had. You know, one of them being, you know, he was allowed to marry more than 4 women. You know, and let's just look at that hadith, because they ask you, Muhammad, about menstruation. Who's asking him? Why is anybody asking him about menstruation? Why is this written in the eternal tablets, in the uncreated mother of the book? These are Allah's uncreated words. They ask you, Prophet, about menstruation. Say, beware of its harm. So keep away and do not have intercourse with your wives during their monthly cycles until they are purified. When they purify themselves, then you may approach them in the manner specified by Allah. Okay, I want to see the Arabic. يسألونك عن المحيض. يابا مين اللي سألك عن المحيض؟ يابا people, the crazy questions people used to ask. You know what? I gotta do an episode about the crazy questions people used to ask Muhammad. There was one, I'm not going to say it. Christian Prince talks about it a lot. But people actually came to him to ask him about this. People actually, I mean, he talked so much about urine, of course, and maybe because of that, they felt open to just open up everything. What kind of a society was this, man? The stuff that would come. يابا يسألوك عن المحيض قل هو إذا فاعتزلوا النساء في المحيض. So get away from the women during this. ولا تقربوهم حتى يطهرن. Do not go near them until they have been cleansed. فإذا تطهرن فأتوهم من حيث أمركم Allah. Okay. If they're purified, approach them as you want. Yeah. Thank you very much. This says you're not supposed to, I said you're not supposed to go close to them. La tuqarribuhum. The word is tuqarribuhum. Don't go close to them. But Muhammad had special rights. He has 16 special privileges that no other Muslim has, according to yes, Muhammad had he had lots of women, and this was just for Muhammad, not for anybody else. That's right. His maternal cousins, paternal cousins, in Arabic, this word cousin, you guys, because in the Quran, in chapter 33:50, when you translate it into English, it's the word cousins. Well, the word cousins, there's like 8 possible different meanings of cousins in Arabic. One is the female daughter of your maternal aunt. Then the female daughter of your paternal aunt. Then there's the female daughter of your maternal uncle. And then there's the female daughter of your paternal uncle. See, there's 4 different groups there. And in the English, the word cousin covers all of them, and the male and female. But in Arabic, you say the son of my maternal aunt. The son, bint khalti, bint khali, ibn khalti, ibn khali, ibn ammi, bint ammi. Okay. And so there's, khal in Arabic is like your maternal uncle. Khala is your maternal aunt. Amma is your paternal aunt, and Amma, Ammi is my paternal uncle. Okay, and so there's different words for each one, whereas in English it's all one word, cousin. Cousin covers everything. But in Arabic, cousin can mean 8 different things. In Arabic. It's funny. So yeah, he did. And his wife Aisha, she knew it. She says, Ara Rabbak yusari' fi hawak. She says, I see that your Lord hastens to fulfill your desires. She knew it. She knew it was a scam, but she had a very good retirement plan and great Social Security plan for the rest of her life to just play along with it. Okay. هيا يا مسلمون تقدموا ودافعوا عن محمد. Very good. Very good, Truth Defender. Dang. Very good. In fact, you said it. Fisha. There's different kinds of Arabic. There's kind of the colloquial Arabic that you speak on the street, but then there's what's called the Fisha. Fisha is the upper class Arabic, and you wrote that in upper class Arabic, as if you didn't cheat with Google. Yeah, if there's any Muslims here, we welcome you. We got so many questions. This urine topic has really taken us all over the place. It's almost like a European. You're in trouble. You're in trouble. That's the day. there's so many different dimensions to this topic, of course. So, hey, Jack Ray, shalom. God bless you. So, anyway, guys, here 22 urine hadiths. 22 hadiths about urine that really, what else? You know, if there's anybody who has any questions about urine, you know, we can look for answers because there's answers. Okay. And so it's been a wild week. Yes, it has been. I'll tell you what, man. You know what? It's the same devil, different puppet. You know, it's just because it just reminds me, man, the way Muhammad Hijab is going after God logic and the way this Andrew, and I liked Andrew, to be honest, I liked Andrew before, you know, I liked him. I wasn't convinced that he was a Christian, to be honest, the way he talks. And I know I'm going to get in trouble for that because of the way he talks. I wasn't convinced he was a Christian. I didn't feel he was because of the way he talks. He uses the F word a lot and stuff. But I really liked what he did when he talked about the 1.8-inch member of Muhammad and about the cousin marriage, IQ, the lowering of IQ through cousin marriage. Those were, I thought, very powerful points that he's got such an amazing intellect and an ability to communicate. I didn't understand what the heck was going on with David, why he was being like that. And he was there with the Ortho Bros. Yeah, he was with the Ortho Bros the other day and with David Wood and stuff, and they were talking and stuff. There's a new Christian apologist on YouTube. He is Tukasi. He is all right, well, check that out. There's so many, man. And these kids, these young you know what? I gotta be honest with you. You know, my opinion is my opinion, this is I think the women are doing it better than the guys. I think the women are doing it better than the guys, you guys. These women that, you know, are doing these, you know, where they do like there's 20 women and 20 women, 20 Christian women, and then one Muslim woman, or there's like one Christian woman and then 20 Muslim women. I think the women do it better, man. They are just like, they know how to talk, how to communicate, get to the point. I think they're better than the men. You know, the men always want to argue and they don't know how to sometimes, you know, like some of the Muslim men, you know, they don't know what they're talking about. But the women, they just like go right to the point. And these Christian women, dang, like their memory. How do they remember all that, man? And so I've been really impressed with the you know, where they do these things where there's like one Christian woman and like 20 Muslim women, or the other way around. There's also the one where there's one Muslim woman and 20 Christian women. Um, those are really very, very insightful, very, you know, because women, you know, what I've heard is that women use the left side of the brain, I think, more. Women know how to communicate. They know how to communicate. They're better at communicating than men. They talk to each other all the time, you know, whereas men are more, they're not, you know, so it's been really a blessing watching those, watching them go do it. So praise the Lord. I'm really, and all of these guys too. There's these, you know, I don't know their names all, but man, some of these guys are just amazing. Praise God. so happy about this new generation. God is anointing them. God is anointing them, and they are running with the baton, man. I really think God Logic kind of just. I think God Logic really kind of just was a forerunner. He just kind of paved the way, and so many are following in his footsteps. And it's so awesome. I'm so thankful for what's happening. So that's a bright light. That's a bright light in the darkness of the world, is what's happening on YouTube with Muslim evangelism. That is so awesome. I'm so happy with it. Praise the Lord, man. And you know, I'm so we saw all the urine. You know what, you guys? We've actually got more people right now than I've had all night. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go do, there are more urination hadiths. And I think that we should continue to, let's just go to the hadiths and look at them. Because these really do teach you a lot about Muhammad. Seriously, the Prophet forbade urinating in the place where you take a bath. Okay. He didn't mind when kids were peeing on him. Says a small boy was brought to Muhammad and he urinated on him. So he called for water and poured it on the place where the urine was. Now, Muhammad was very picky when it came to urine, kid urine. If it was a girl that urinated on him, he had a much more strenuous cleaning process. But if it was a boy, he would just put a little bit of water on it, almost as if he wanted the smell. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. Here's Aisha's words. Whoever tells you the messenger urinated standing up, do not believe him, for he would not urinate except while squatting. Very, very important information here. Satan urinates in people's ears, in his tap. Okay. A suckling baby was brought to Muhammad and urinated in his lap. Muhammad sent for water. Okay. Bit down here and just see some of the. Okay, here's Muhammad, always looking for a teachable moment. It says, Abdullah bin Abbas came to Basra. People narrated to him traditions from Abu Musa. Therefore, Ibn Abbas wrote to him, asking him about certain things. In reply, Abu Musa, you guys, this Abu Musa guy, he's really big on the urine thing. He was very, very concerned. I mean, even his friends were concerned about him, that he was just stressing over this urine thing way too much. I'm not joking. I got the hadith right here. One day I was in the and Abu Musa said, one day I was in the company of the messenger. He wanted to urinate. Then he came to soft ground at the foot of a wall and urinated. He, the prophet, then said, if any of you wants to urinate, he should look for a place like this for his urination. So it's just a beautiful, teachable moment there. And ذات يوم فأراد أن يبول فأتى دمث في قصر جدار فبال ثم قال إذا أراد أحدكم أن يبول فليرتد لبوله موضعا. Okay, you should look for a place like this to pee in. Okay. So, all right. A lot of these are about farting and stuff. So, okay, pass one. The urine of a boy. Okay, here's the gender. This is a gender issue right here. could be very helpful to California's gender confusion. It says, Messenger of Allah said, the urine of a boy is to be sprinkled with water. The urine of a girl is to be washed. That is if they are not eating solid food. If they are eating solid food, their urine is to be washed in both cases. So a boy's pee-pee, you let it, you just throw some water on it. But a girl's pee-pee, you're supposed to really go all out and, okay. The other did not keep himself safe from being defiled. Okay, it's about a guy who's being punished in the grave. Okay. You should not urinate in standing water. A Bedouin stood up and urinated in the masjid, so people grabbed him, but the messenger said, leave him alone. Okay, let him continue his urination. Okay, this Bedouin story is all over the place. Okay. Prophet and I walked till we reached the dumps of some people. He stood, as any of you stands, behind a wall and urinated. I went away, but he beckoned me to come. So I approached him and stood near his back till he finished. He wanted him to watch him. It was narrated from Jabir forbade, okay? He was urinating. All the people said he's urinating like a woman. Yay! Okay. So past urine, the urine. Okay. Messenger of Allah saw me urinating while standing up. Why is he watching? Why is he watching? So I think we've pretty much covered this topic and probed the depths of it. Respects and loves. You, Sam Paulogics. God bless you. All right, you guys. Well, we have spent an hour and a half talking about pee-pee. God bless you, Just Janice. Thank you for being here. Thank you, everybody, for being here. If you haven't done it, please do it now. Jesus, help me. Jesus, forgive me. Jesus, come into my heart. Jesus, help me. Jesus, forgive me. Jesus, come into my heart. يسوع ساعدني. يسوع سامحني. يسوع ادخل قلبي. We love you, but much more importantly, he loves you. Sorry for the grotesqueness of the topic today, but you know what? You have to probe the depths to really find the wisdom, the sublime wisdom of Muhammad. And so, and by the way, this guy, he's still working on number one, you guys, because remember, he spends like 1,000 years, and he's got 124 quadrillion of these. And so he's still working on number one, though, because with each one, he spends 10,000 years. So during our lifetimes, he's going to be still working on number one. So anyway, just because I know some people are concerned. So, all right, you guys, have a wonderful night. The Lord bless you, and go to church on Sunday.